All right. Good morning or good afternoon, baseball fans. Big Al here on this Monday, July 24th, 2023. And today we're going to take a look at the Major League Baseball scoreboard from Sunday. We'll update the Major League Baseball standings and playoff races through July 23rd. And we'll take a look at the Monday schedule on the diamond. All that and more is coming up. But first, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell every time I post a new video. Or should I say, ring the bell and get notified every time I post a new video. Now, all this information is coming to you courtesy of the Sports Alerts app, which I'm fighting with on my Chromebook right now. I'm trying to get this thing up. Now, you won't be able to see the Sports Alerts app on screen, but you'll be able to catch all the information. Okay, why is this thing acting up? All right, this is going to take a second. Okay, I guess it's not going to take a second. All right, so let's see. Today is, I don't know why they have me back in July 2022. There we go. So what we're going to look at is the Sunday schedule across Major League Baseball. We're going to start off with the Detroit Tigers defeating the San Diego Padres 3-1 and avoiding a sweep at home. Fato wins it for Detroit. 2-4 is his record. Musgrove takes the loss for the Padres. He is now 9-3. The save goes to Lang, his 17th. The Yankees complete the sweep of the Royals as New York beats Kansas City in the Bronx 8-5. Severino is the winning pitcher, 2-4. How about this? Jordan Lyles takes another loss for Kansas City. He's now 1-12. The Giants go to D.C. and get swept by the Nationals, losing the finale 6-1. Winning pitcher for Washington is Gore, 6-7. Alexander takes the loss for San Francisco. He is now 6-1. The Phillies scored three in the top of the 10th and beat the Guardians in Cleveland 8-5. Philadelphia's closer, Craig Kimbrell, gets the win for the Phils. He's now 6-1. Herron takes the loss for Cleveland 1-1. Marte with his second save for Philadelphia. Diamondbacks get swept in Cincinnati as they drop the finale to the Reds 7-3. Law wins for the Reds 4-4. Gilbert takes the loss for Arizona 0-1. Sims, his second save. In 10, the Marlins edge out the Rockies 3-2. No winning pitcher was named for Miami. Johnson took the loss for Colorado. He's 1-5. Orioles take 3 of 4 in that huge series with the Rays down in St. Petersburg as Baltimore beats Tampa 5-3. Baumann wins it for the Orioles. He's 7-0. Poshi takes the loss for Tampa 7-3. Bautista, his 28th save of the season. Braves double up the Brewers 4-2. No winning pitcher announced for Atlanta. Peguero takes the loss for Milwaukee. He's 1-3. Iglesias is 18th save. The Twins walk off the White Sox. Final was 5-4 in 12. Pagan takes the win for Minnesota. He's 5-1. Schultz is the loser for Chicago, 1-3. Meanwhile, Chicago's other team, the Cubs, won on Sunday, beating the Cardinals 7-2. Talion wins it for the Northsiders. 4-6 is his record. The loss goes to Montgomery, 6-8. Rangers beat the Dodgers 8-4. Perez goes to 8-3 with his latest victory. Sheehan takes the loss for LA. He's 3-1. Astros edge past the A's 3-2. Neris is the victorious pitcher for Houston. He's 6-2. Smith takes the loss for Oakland. He's 1-2. Abreu with his third save. It was the Angels over the Pirates 7-5. Anderson is the winning pitcher for the Halos, 5-2. Mitch Keller takes the loss for Pittsburgh, 9-6. Estevez's 23rd save. Blue Jays avoid a sweep in Seattle as they beat the Mariners 4-3. Miza wins it for Toronto. He's 2-1. Wu takes the loss for Seattle, 1-3. Romano, 27th save of the year for the Jays. And in the Sunday night game, it was the Red Sox hammering the Mets 6-1. Murphy wins for Boston 1-0. Carrasco takes the loss, and his record drops to 3-4. Okay, now that that's done, let's take a look at the Major League Baseball standings and the playoff races through July 23rd, and we'll start off with the American League East, now led by the Baltimore Orioles at 61-38. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games, including 2 straight wins. Falling down to second place are the Tampa Bay Rays at 61-42, 2 games behind Baltimore, 3-7 in their last 10, including 2 straight losses. In fact, Tampa Bay has been playing sub-500 baseball for about 6 weeks or so. In third place are the Toronto Blue Jays, 55-45, 6.5 games behind the O's. 6-4 in their last 10, including a win in their most recent game. And tied for last place are both the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees, both at 53-47. And both 8.5 games behind Baltimore. Boston is 6-4 in their last 10, including 2 straight wins. New York is 4-6 in their last 10, including 3 straight wins. All right. Over in the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins lead the way there at 53-48. 8-2 in their last 10 games, including 3 straight wins. In second place are the Cleveland Guardians, flirting with that 500 mark. They're 49-50 and 3 games behind the Twins. 4-6 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. In third place are the Detroit Tigers, 45-54. 7 games behind Minnesota, 6-4 in their last 10, including a win in their most recent game. In fourth place, the Chicago White Sox, 41-60, 12 games behind Minnesota, 3-7 in their last 10, including 3 straight losses. And in the basement of the AL Central, the Kansas City Royals, 28-73. 25 games behind Minnesota, 2-8 in their last 10 games, including 5 straight losses. Now let's move out to the American League West, led by the Texas Rangers at 59-41, 7-3 in their last 10 games, including a victory in their most recent game. Following close behind in second place are the defending World Series champion Houston Astros at 56-44, 3 games behind the Rangers, 6-4 in their last 10, including a win in their most recent game. In third place, you've got the Los Angeles Angels, 51-49, 8 games behind Texas, 6-4 in their last 10 games, including a win in their most recent game. Next are the fourth place Seattle Mariners at 50-49, 8.5 games behind the Rangers, 5-5 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. And sitting at the bottom of the AL West and the bottom of the overall MLB standings are the Oakland A's, 28-74, 32 games behind Texas, 3-7 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. In the National League East, it's basically a runaway, as the Atlanta Braves are comfortably in front with a 64-34 record, which is the best in baseball, by the way. They are just 4-6 in their last 10 games. However, they did win their most recent game. In a virtual second place tie are the Miami Marlins, 54-47, 2-8 in their last 10, including a victory in their most recent game. And the Philadelphia Phillies at 53-46, 5-5 in their last 10 games, including a victory in their most recent game. Both Miami and Philadelphia are 11.5 games behind the Braves in the NL East. Next, you've got the New York Mets sitting fourth at 46-53, 18.5 games behind Atlanta, 4-6 in their last 10, including 2 straight losses. Disappointing year for the Mets. Last place are the Washington Nationals, 41-58, 23.5 games behind the Braves, 6-4 in their last 10, including 3 straight wins, all during the weekend series with the San Francisco Giants. Meanwhile, it remains a dogfight atop the National League Central with both the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds in the top 2 spots. Milwaukee leads the division at 55-45, 7-3 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. Cincinnati, meanwhile, right on their heels at 55-46, just a half game out behind the Brew Crew. 5-5 in their last 10 games, including 5 straight wins. In third place are the Chicago Cubs, 48-51, 6.5 games behind Milwaukee, 6-4 in their last 10, including 3 straight wins. In fourth place, the team the Cubs just played this weekend, the St. Louis Cardinals, 44-56, 11 games behind the Brewers, 6-4 in their last 10, including 3 straight losses. And in last place, after starting the season on fire, they have really cooled off since, and that's the Pittsburgh Pirates, 43-56, 11.5 games behind the Brewers, 3-7 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. On now to the National League West, led by the Los Angeles Dodgers, 57-41, 7-3 in their last 10 games, including a loss in their most recent game. Tied for second place are the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants, both at 54-46, and both 4 games behind LA in the West. Both teams have been pretty cold recently. Arizona just 2-8 in their last 10 games, including 4 straight losses. That includes the sweep in Cincinnati. San Francisco is 5-5 in their last 10 games, including 5 straight losses. In fourth place, another disappointing team, the San Diego Padres, 48-52, 10 games behind the Dodgers, 5-5 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. And rounding out the NL West are the fifth place Colorado Rockies, 39-60, 18.5 games behind Los Angeles, 5-5 in their last 10, including a loss in their most recent game. All right, Now we're going to take a look at the playoff standings through July 23rd. And based on records, Baltimore at 61-38, Texas at 59-41, and Minnesota at 53-48. Those would be your three division leaders in the American League after July 23rd. Meanwhile, in the National League, the Atlanta Braves at 64-34. The Atlanta Braves at 64-34. Then you've got the LA Dodgers at 57-41. And the Milwaukee Brewers at 55-45. They would be your three division leaders in the National League. Taking a look at the wild card in both leagues. Tampa Bay at 61-42 would be the number one wild card in the AL. There you have the defending champion Houston Astros at 56-44, sitting in the number two wild card spot. And the Toronto Blue Jays at 55-45 in the number three wild card spot. Both the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees would be 2 games behind Toronto for that last wild card spot. The Los Angeles, both at 53-47. The Los Angeles Angels at 51-49 would be 4 games out. The Seattle Mariners at 50-49 would be 4.5 games out. The Cleveland Guardians at 49-50, they would be 5.5 games out, and it really drops off from there. The Detroit Tigers, 45-54, would be 9.5 games out behind the Blue Jays. Then you've got the Chicago White Sox at 41-60, 14.5 games out. And as for the bottom two, there's no chance for them. The Kansas City Royals at 28-73 are 27.5 games behind Toronto for that third and final wild card. And the Oakland A's at 28-74 are a full 28 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay. Taking a look at the National League wild card picture. As of right now, the Cincinnati Reds would be the number one wild card at 55-46. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants would have the 2 remaining wild card spots in the National League. And based on tiebreakers, Arizona would be the number 2 wild card. San Francisco would be number 3, both teams at 54-46. Both the Miami Marlins at 54-47 and the Philadelphia Phillies at 53-46 both would be a half game out of that last wild card spot, or should I say the last 2 wild card spots since there's a tie. The Chicago Cubs, 48-51, are 5.5 games out. The San Diego Padres at 48-52, a full 6 games out. Then it's the New York Mets at 46-53. They are 7.5 games out of the last wild card spots. Next are the St. Louis Cardinals at 44-56, 10 games out. The Pittsburgh Pirates at 43-56, 10.5 games out. The Washington Nationals, 41-58, and 12.5 games out. And finally, the Colorado Rockies at 39-60 and 14.5 games out. Okay, so that is a look at the Major League standings and the updated playoff races through July 23rd. Now let's jump into the Monday portion of the schedule, where we do have one game in progress. On a 10-game schedule on this Monday in Major League Baseball, and they've just finished the first inning at Comerica Park in Detroit, and the host Tigers are up 1-0 on the San Francisco Giants, looking to snap their 5-game losing streak. Skubal is the starting pitcher this afternoon for the Tigers. All the other games are later this afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in this country. At 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the 61-38 Baltimore Orioles and the 53-46 Philadelphia Phillies. Dean Kramer is the projected pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. The right-hander has a 10-4 record and a 4.80 ERA. The starting pitcher for the host Phillies is Christopher Sanchez, a left-hander, 0-3 and a 3.06 ERA. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. This game will be televised on MASN 2 and NBC Sports Philadelphia. Then at 7:05 Eastern Time, the 39-60 Colorado Rockies faces off with the 41-58 Washington Nationals. Both teams pretty much out of the playoff race at this time. Right-hander Jake Bird is the projected starter for Colorado. 2-1 record, 4.03 ERA. His mound opponent would be the Nationals left-hander Patrick Corbin, 6-10 and a 4.89 ERA. First pitch is 7:05 Eastern Time from Nationals Park in DC. This game will be televised on AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain and on MASN. Five minutes after that, at 7:10 Eastern Time, the 28-73 Kansas City Royals visiting the 49-50 Cleveland Guardians. And it's lefty versus lefty in our pitching matchup for this one. Ryan Yarbrough is the starter for KC. 2-5 record and a 5.21 ERA. His opponent is another southpaw, Logan Allen, for Cleveland. 4-2 and a 3.21 ERA. First pitch is at 7:10 Eastern from Progressive Field in Cleveland. This game will be seen regionally on MLB Network. Also on Bally Sports Kansas City and Bally Sports Great Lakes. About a half hour later at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the 50-49 Seattle Mariners, fighting for a playoff spot here in late July, travels into the Twin Cities to face the 53-48 and AL Central leading Minnesota Twins. And it's righty versus righty in this pitching matchup, as Luis Castillo will toe the bump for Seattle. He's 6-7 with a 3.04 ERA. His opponent is Minnesota's Kenta Maeda, 2-5 with a 5.10 ERA. First pitch is tonight at 7:40 Eastern Time from Target Field in Minneapolis. And this game will be regionally televised by Root Sports Northwest and Bally Sports North. All right, the Battle of the Lone Star State gets underway tonight at 8:10 Eastern Time. as the AL West leading Texas Rangers at 59-41 take the short trip down south to face the defending World Series champions, the 56-44 Houston Astros. And it's a pair of righties pitching for both teams tonight. John Gray is the starter for Texas, 6-5 record, 3.31 ERA, versus Brandon Bielak of the Astros, 5-5 and a 3.46 ERA. First pitch is at 8:10 Eastern Time from Minute Maid Park in Houston, and this game will be seen on Bally Sports Southwest and AT&T Sportsnet Houston. Also, at 8:10 Eastern Time, it's the battle for NL Central supremacy, as the 55-45 Milwaukee Brewers play host to the 55-46 Cincinnati Reds. Now, believe it or not, this is the third series that these two teams have played here in the month of July. Right-hander Graham Ashcraft is the starter for the Reds. He's 5-7 with a 5.77 ERA. His opponent is Colin Ray of the Brewers, 5-4, 4.64 ERA for the right-hander. This game is also at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time from American Family Field in Milwaukee. This game will be televised via Bally Sports Ohio and Bally Sports Wisconsin. And then we got 3 games out west. The first 2 start at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time. The 44-56 St. Louis Cardinals, playing much better as of late, takes on the 54-46 Arizona Diamondbacks, currently on a 4-game losing streak. The ageless Adam Wainwright is on the bump for St. Louis tonight. 3-4 record, 7.66 ERA. His mound opponent is also a right-hander, Ryan Nelson of Arizona, 6-5 record, 4.82 ERA. First pitch is at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time from Chase Field in Phoenix. And the game will be televised on Bally Sports Midwest. And it looks like it'll be streaming on the Arizona Diamondbacks website. Expected to be 109 degrees in Phoenix at first pitch. Also at 9:40 Eastern Time, the 43-56 Pittsburgh Pirates battle the 48-52 San Diego Padres. Quinn Priester is the starter for Pittsburgh. 0-1, and listen to this ERA, 11.81. That is not good. Yu Darvish, right-hander, is the starter for San Diego. 7-6, 4.36 ERA. First pitch is at 9:40 Eastern Time from Petco Park in San Diego. The game will be televised by AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh and the San Diego Padres website. The final game of the night is at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time, as the Toronto Blue Jays at 55-45 continue their West Coast trip into Chavez Ravine to face the 57-41 Los Angeles Dodgers. And again, we got right-handed pitcher versus right-handed pitcher. Jose Barrios for Toronto is 8-7 with a 3.39 ERA, while Michael Grove for the Dodgers is 2-2 with a 6.40 ERA. First pitch is at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, aka Chavez Ravine. This game will be televised in Canada on Rogers Sportsnet, and primarily to the LA area on Sportsnet Los Angeles. And that is a look at the updated standings and playoff races in Major League Baseball, plus a look back at the Sunday schedule and a look at tonight's action in baseball. We'll be back tomorrow with a Monday recap and a look at Tuesday's schedule. So be sure to join me for that. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the baseball action on this Monday. Peace out.